Hi, it's Jasmin. You know, that girl who did you know what way before the internet ever existed. Join me and my special guest every week as we talk about anything and everything because nothing is too taboo. So punch your ticket and get on board the Krazy Train with me, Jasmin St. All aboard! Welcome to a brand new episode of Krazy Train Podcast. Everyone knows how much I love having bright-eyed, bushy-tailed newcomers to the adult film business. So this week's guest, Stephanie Love, fits the bill. So sit down and enjoy the ride. Thank you so much for joining me. I love your tattoos. Those are simply stunning. They really are. Did that hurt on your neck?
No, but I had to concentrate on my breathing the whole time. And it's really intimate because the tattoo artist has to hold you in his arms a little bit. So it was just I had to breathe normal, but I couldn't breathe normal because that moves your neck. So it was just the whole time concentrating on my breathing.
Well, was he at least cute?
Not my type. He's too skinny.
Oh, okay, never mind then. But how long did that take to do?
This one probably only an hour, I think. That one wasn't too bad. Yeah.
Well, you must have been really still because my foot hurts so bad. It's a big Thor's hammer. I had to do it in 3 sittings because I was freaking out.
Oh, yeah. I've heard feet hurt really bad, though. I had my fingers, and yeah, I feel like that hurt more than my neck.
Now, with so many tattoos, did you find yourself having difficulties getting work? Because I know Alt-Erotic and those people, they hire tatted models all the time and pierced as well.
Yeah. It definitely slows down work for me, yes. A lot of companies don't like tattoos, even though it's 2024. So, all Vixen-owned companies, they really don't like tattoos, and that's, a lot of companies. But there's a lot of companies that still will shoot me, so it just depends.
Have you ever worked with Alt-Erotic or Slava Siderman?
Yeah, I've actually worked. Well, I haven't technically worked with Alterotic officially, but I do a lot of stuff with them. It's so funny because I'm actually going to sign with them at X3 next month, even though I've never actually officially shot a scene for them. Yeah, but we're lining that up for February where I actually shoot something for them finally.
I hope you get to work with Slava. He's one of my really good friends, and he's a good human being. He does a lot of amazing work. He has awards, nominations. I'm not sure if you heard of him, the Russian Viking, but I think you'd have a good time if you work with him. He has a great stable of girls.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I look forward to meeting him. I don't think I have met him yet. I don't know. I'm really bad with names, better with faces. So maybe if I saw him, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I've met him. Because I go to as many events as I possibly can. So I try to meet a lot of people.
I feel as though it's a struggle these days to get a lot of work in this type of content creating community. Back then, of course, back in my day, we didn't need to always be at conventions to meet people. Do you feel like it's hard to weed out the good versus the bad in the business?
Yes. Yeah, it is really hard. I've learned, I've been in it almost 3 years now, and the first year you feel special with all these people reaching out to you that want to work with you and stuff. But then in the second year, you find out, oh, they're reaching out to new girls for a reason. So, when you're new, you think, oh, I'm a new hot commodity. It's no, all the girls that know these guys won't work with them. So they purposely go after new girls. So the first year was a lot of mistakes, a lot. Getting tied to a brand management that was so bad for my image, different things like that. Now I pretend like I've never worked for them. Different things like that. So yeah, it is. I'm getting better at weeding out the bad from the good, but yeah, it is hard in the beginning for sure.
I could only imagine. I feel bad for the girls sometimes. Back when I was doing this, we all had contracts. You had contract girls, and you had the girls that were not under contract. So someone brought this up last night on my live stream, and we got super wild on those, by the way. I remember on my good day, there was a really scared girl who came to work, right? And she was intimidated and she didn't know what she was doing. I said, dude, just go back to the Greyhound station and go back to whatever downtown you come from, because you're not going to fit in here. Trust me. She's now a tattoo artist in the Midwest. But anyways, it's always a silver lining at the end of this. What would you say was one of your more favorable experiences meeting someone in this business?
I just always like the girls that are nice because am also from the Midwest. So I run
Aw.
into a lot of girls that are just like, I don't know. I can't think of a specific. Okay, I met Kazumi. She's really big. And when I first met her, I walk up to her at a party, get introduced to her, and she goes, "Really? I thought I was going to be the hottest girl at this party." And so, like, it was like, a compliment, but the way she said it. And I'll never forget that. But I was like, "Oh, wow, you think I'm hot?" Like, so I like that kind of stuff. I've definitely had a lot, like, I don't want to use her name, but a really big star. My friend fangirled out about her at AVN's, and she treated us like complete dog shit for just asking for a photo with her. So, both things like that.
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I feel as though they're not groomed properly to, do things like this nowadays. But um, we're in the Midwest. Now I'm curious because I love the Midwest. Wait, let
Actually,
me
don't
guess.
tell
Let me guess.
anybody. I don't tell anybody where I'm
Okay, wait,
from the
let me guess.
state.
Please, please. Wade Hill, Ohio.
Oh, yeah. It's not in Ohio, but it's close.
Okay, Pennsylvania? No, no.
No, that's definitely, that's where I lived before now, but yeah.
What is near Ohio? My God, I should know this because I've been like all over. Michigan?
No.
Huh.
I just never tell people because I have 16 stalkers that I know about right now.
Ew.
And that's that I know about. I don't even know how many hidden good stalkers I have. Those are all bad stalkers where, I know that they're stalking me. So I just like keep that part of my life completely silent.
It's really tough, because years ago, some guy, and I didn't know that he worked for the airlines, he had my personal home address and he was
Oh,
sending me stuff
jeez.
to my home address when I lived in Venice, California.
Yeah.
So it was nice getting the flowers, but I had to have someone tell him, look, it's really super cool of you, but just don't do that because it's freaked her out. Which, because you don't know
Yeah.
people. I'm sure they're nice people out there. I think he was from like
Yeah.
St. Louis or somewhere. So tell us about working with New Sensations Meet the Boss Volume 2. And by the way, I think it's really cool. It's a DVD.
Yes, that one was so much fun. That is the girl on girl one, right? I
Yep.
have to remember. I did two new sensations one, and they're both about like bosses, so it's hard
Nope,
for me to
Vince.
remember.
Vince Carter.
Oh, okay. So that one, I haven't even seen it yet or anything. They haven't even put that one online yet. It's only the box, like, or the DVD out. So I haven't seen that one yet, but I believe it is one of my best scenes ever. We broke a couch. We were going at it so hard. Like it was a rough scene, and I always think that those are the best for me. They
No, I
definitely
think that's
sell
great.
best on like my OnlyFans and everything. And yeah, Vince was really good. He's a really good male talent.
Okay. No, I'm sure. I mean, I feel as though with when people are getting rough, okay, back like this is a comparison. Back then, we didn't have the concerns about that because there was that mutual consent, right? Now, I speak to Vic Legina all the time. He was a director for Brazzers. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but he told me that there was a fine line at some point where people had to differentiate, or you had to have an intimacy coordinator on set to make sure that things weren't getting too wild. Did you have an intimacy coordinator on your set to make sure you this was consensual?
No, not on this set, but I mean, I was actually bleeding a little bit, so there was a lot of me stopping and running to the bathroom and like cleaning up and everything. And each time I'd be like, "Oh my god, give me a minute." They'd be like, "Oh, are we too rough? Like, is it going too hard?" I'm like, "No, I'm doing great. I just don't want to ruin the video, so let me go clean up."
Yeah, I'm sure that there's some fetish out there. It seems like there's fetish for everything under the
Yeah,
sun. I mean, I finally went on one of those porn tube sites to see what the hell, like 200 different categories of shit I've never even heard of. I'm
yeah.
sorry. I sound like an old hen talking about this, but like seriously, but the bleeding was that like, excuse me for being like blunt, was that menstrual bleeding? Do they make you use
Yeah,
those
it
sponges?
was.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just a really little bit. I just started that morning. It came at like the worst time. And we usually still work. We just put in a sponge and so
Hmm.
that kind of absorbs it and everything. But yeah, I mean, you can't sell blood. Like Visa and Mastercard will not cover that. So even if there's accidental little blood, you cannot have that on camera on like any porn sites. I honestly don't know of one porn site that allows blood because Visa Mastercard won't do it. I'm sure there are porn sites like that, but I can't think of any that actually allow blood. Like I know like many vids and stuff they allow like water work so you can do or water sports or whatever so you can do like pee content and stuff, but even they draw the line at blood. Most of them do, even though it's like it's so natural for women to bleed during sex sometimes, but yeah, you can't show it at all. I'm sure it is a niche. Like
I think there's a whole niche you could probably tap into if you have the outtakes of that, and maybe it's like
yeah.
for your OnlyFans. And I'm not advising you, by the way, just in case there's some weird legality. I'm just saying potentially in your OnlyFans there could be a way to sell this. Maybe they
True.
call it vampire porn. I have no fucking clue. I just think
I
it's
actually got in trouble for that. I had fake blood because I was a pretend vampire for a video, and it was just me masturbating with a fake knife. I also didn't know you couldn't have fake blood or real blood, and you can't have fake weapons even. So I had like the handle, and I was using that, and I got in so much trouble on OnlyFans.
really.
Yeah, I should have read their rules, but when I just started it, just kind of goofing around, let's make some extra money. I didn't take time to read the rules till I started making more money, and then I got in trouble for breaking so many rules. And then I was like, oh, let's sit down and read these now.
Yeah, right? That just totally
Yeah,
kills the fun. My God, what is it with OnlyFans in these places? Jesus.
yeah.
I mean, they should be more concerned about people putting up videos of other people that are underage or they don't have their consent, like Pornhub, where they have such or have had those issues before. So you're 3 years fresh to the business. Is that what this is? How did you get started?
I started with OnlyFans to get a boob job. And then I did one collab where the guy wanted to post it on Pornhub and I said he could. It made like the homepage millions of views and I was like, okay, so I really like the attention from this. And so that's when I reached out to an agent in LA and flew down there and started. So it was kind of just like, oh, let's just joke around and get a boob job. And then it turned into a career.
I think it's cute. You have such a bright, adorable, bubbly personality, which is
Oh,
so perfect. Let's talk
thank
about
you.
this in like 5 years from now when you've been there, or if you stay that long in it, if you decide to. Um,
I'm hoping to. I want to stay in for a long time. I want to be like Brittany Andrews. Like I
oh
think
yeah, I
she
love
turned
Brittany.
51 or 52 this
Yeah,
year, and she is still fucking working. I love her.
man, Brittany is so cool. I met her like years ago, and this is when we had like evening gowns and girls were getting makeup and hair done for AVN, and you had all the champagne and a video company sponsoring like everything you did. But I just remember her from back then and staying in touch with her. She's really a cool person. Have you collaborated
Yeah.
with her yet, or do you intend to?
No, we've done like we've gone to a few events together and everything, but we haven't done a collab. We're talking about doing it this year. I guess she's getting some plastic surgery. I'm healing from plastic surgery right now. So we're gonna work together once we're both healed.
If you don't mind my asking, what did you have done? Your boobs?
No, I got a fat transfer to my ass.
Oh, okay,
And
the
so,
BBL.
yeah, just
Got
the
it.
Brazilian butt lift. Yeah.
Who did it?
Probably the hardest thing to heal from because it's 2 months of no sitting. So, like, right now, I'm actually sitting on like a block on my
Yep.
thighs. And so it suspends my butt in the air.
Who did it? Was it someone in LA?
Dr. McAdoo in Miami.
It seems like a lot of people go there. My preference for body work there is Dr. Adam Canal. He's the king of that. Like he can work on you if you're totally skinny. I know a lot of people go to Turkey for things, but I don't think that's a safe idea because you're spending money on an airline ticket, and if you have an issue, you got to go fly back there. No one here touches work from Turkey. My doctor who did my lower bleph, he's amazingly skilled. He won't touch anyone from Turkey when they come back here.
Yeah, I could see that. My friend just went there a couple months
Oh
ago
Jesus.
for a BBL
Oh.
labiaplasty and implants, and it is so bad. She had to get her implants removed. She's got 4 blood transfusions. They've messed everything up for her, including her labiaplasty. So now she has no implants, messed up labiaplasty, like everything is ruined for her, and she's having to deal with them. Like she's trying to make online posts about them and they're saying they're going to sue her. She's like, but I haven't said anything that's not true. So you can't really sue her. And yeah, I mean, I don't even think she can sue them like if she wanted to with it being a foreign country. I don't know how that all works. She's from Canada, but yeah. She just really wants her money back at this point since she doesn't even have implants now and they're just refusing to do anything for her. So,
When we hop off of here, I'd like to know if I can get her information from you. I'd love to
yeah.
speak to her and put her on my live stream one night because I feel as though a lot of people, even men, are going there for hair transplants. And my whole
Mhm.
thing is like with hair transplants, just stay here and do it, or like do the micro needling with the echosomes. But you seem so young,
Yeah.
and when young is when you have to start with your skin as well. It's like it's a very expensive thing to be a porn star these days.
Yeah.
It really is. Now
Yeah.
you hosted, or do you just attend the night moves for the first time?
I co-hosted. It
How
was like
was
a
that?
last minute thing. It was so much fun. Lauren Phillips was supposed to co-host and she got sick. So she canceled the night before and I was talking to Paul and Tracy, the owners of Night Moves, and I
Mhm.
just joked around and I was like, I can make a great Lauren Phillips. And they were like, okay, yeah, you'll be Lauren tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, wait, what? Because I have trouble like public speaking and everything. So I was really just joking in the beginning. And then I just went with it. I was a little shy up there, but it was a lot of fun.
Who was the host with who was the main host?
It was supposed to be Paul Allen, and about like 10 minutes into it, he had lost his voice. So he couldn't really talk. And so it ended up being Flint Dominic, who's another male performer, male talent. We ended up doing it together. So, like, last minute, the whole show was completely changed, and we ended up hosting it when neither of us were supposed to host it originally.
So there's some people listening or watching who may not know what night moves is. Could you explain
Mhm.
it to them, please?
It's an expo for like strip clubs in Tampa. I had just heard about it when I went down there, but for 4 nights we went to different strip clubs. They like divide the models into two groups, and so there was altogether 8 strip clubs that we went to. The girls performed. I didn't want to perform just because I had gained so much weight for my BBL. I was not comfortable getting naked in a room full of people because I had my surgery like 3 days after the show. So I didn't do any performing. I just went there, hung out with the girls, met with fans, and then they have an awards show on the last day. And it was a lot of fun. I'll definitely go back next year.
I feel as though that night moves has been around for quite some time. Like
Yeah,
even
this was
while I
like
was
their
dancing.
32nd year, I think.
Yes, it was there when I
Yeah.
was featuring. They also had a movie. It's not a movie, a magazine at one point that I
Yes,
did. I
they
was on
still
the
have the
cover of that a
magazine.
few
Yeah.
times. It was fun. So I know that you've worked for a lot of different studios like Bang Brothers, Brazzers, Ink Vixens. What else? I
Hmm.
see like all these different ones here. So the ones
Yeah.
that get brought up all the time are Brazzers, Naughty America, and Bang Brothers. And New Sensations has
Mhm.
been around, right, for quite some time. Is that the
I
same?
think so. Yeah. I think
What was
so.
it like working for someone like Bang Brothers versus Brazzers?
Browsers, they send you the script before. They tell you specifically the sex positions you're going to be doing in the script. You need to memorize lines. You're going to have so many people on set with you. Bang Bros, which I love working for Bang Bros, they're my favorite company. You go there, you get told what to bring, like a broad range. They pretty much tell you to bring everything, like every type of outfit. You go there, you get your hair and makeup done. They look at the outfits and then they decide what your scene's going to be. So there's no like script or anything like that. They're pretty much just improvising the scene. Like last time I shot for them, I wanted to get out of there because I wanted to get to Exotica, and they're sitting around and we're sitting there for 2 hours. And I'm like, what the hell are we waiting for right now? Like, can we please do this? And they were like, oh, well, we haven't come up with the concept yet. I was like, slutty neighbor. I'm always a slutty fucking neighbor. Make me the slutty neighbor. And they're like, oh, yeah, okay, slutty neighbor. He forgot his phone charger over here. So it's like really kind of on the spot and you just go with it. I mean, amazing work, amazing scenes, but it's just a lot less scripted than Brazzers. Brazzers is so picky about their scripts. Like you squirt at this moment, it's a 2 minute like scene for this, and they got it all chopped down and broke down. Bang Bros, they're pretty much like, okay, improvise your dialogue. They just tell you the concept.
That's so weird because I remember when they came out with I think the tour bus or something. Was that
Oh
Bang
yeah, they
Brothers?
had a Bang Bus. Yeah, I think they still have the Bang Bus. I never did that, but yeah.
What's Naughty America like? Are you looking for a safe way to bet online where there is something for everyone, including yourself? Then go to betonline.ag where I am sure you will find something. Don't forget, it's betonline.ag for the most variety and the safest way to bet online.
Naughty America, they honestly are a lot like Bang Bros. It's about the exact same. All the directors have actually worked for with Bang Bros is the same as Naughty America. So it's a lot of the same directors and it's a lot. it's pretty much the same as Bang Bros. Like you're gonna be told the concept and then just improvise the script from there.
Wow. Well, it sounds
Yeah.
like fun. I don't know, but this is all very interesting. It's always fun speaking to younger performers because then I see what the differences are now versus then, and it's fun. You get girls with different attitudes. I don't know how you guys get along with each other though. Uh, because some of my friends that were
Yeah.
in the business back when I was came to, they went to AVN earlier this year,
Yeah.
and when we had it, we had really like it was a very nice flair of glamorous and elegance. And I heard that it was outdoors under a freaking tent. I'm like, who in their freaking right mind has this thing like in a FEMA?
Yeah.
It looked like a FEMA sponsored event. I just didn't
That
know.
was on Resorts World because Resorts
What the fuck
World, they
is
were under
resort?
a contract. And the first year, 2 years ago, when they had us there, everybody complained about our outfits, the things we were doing. They just had such a big problem with us that they wanted to kick us out, but they're under contract. So they were like, well, let's put them outside under some tents and have security stand outside the door. So the second you walk inside Resorts World, you were screamed at for your outfits. They would have like free shirts that they would throw at you, make you put them on. Like they followed me out of the award show up to my hotel room to make sure I changed my outfit. And my outfit wasn't even that bad, to be honest. It was a romper that I would have got away with wearing it anywhere else in Vegas. But because the award show was going on, they just had such a big problem with us. So I'm really glad that they broke contract and they moved it to a different hotel this year. So that'll be way better. I believe they were supposed to be another year at Resorts World. I heard that it was a 3 year contract, but after 2 years, they're just like, no, we're done with you guys.
Yeah, I'm glad everyone made the best of it. But sometimes in Vegas, you don't know who the tourists are versus the working girls because they're almost dressed all the same. So I just don't understand what kind of a big deal that is. So someone told me that you like to go camping. Did you ever shoot any content while you're camping out in the wilderness?
Ah, I haven't really. I do have one with RV. I wasn't like camping or anything, but this guy was living in an RV and we shot, and so I sell it as a camping video. But I've never actually taken content camping. The places that I camp, I just have a tent, so I feel like if I put on the lighting and then start making noise because quiet porn is boring, I'm probably gonna get in trouble.
Well, wait a
I
second.
don't have anywhere
Backtrack.
secluded enough.
Backtrack. There's
What?
something really disturbing you said. You said the guy was living in an RV. Was he homeless or was this like someone that
It was a content creator. He's not homeless. He was like traveling the country, filming scenes with girls, going from like Vegas to LA. I think he went to Miami at one point. I don't know.
I didn't when you said he was living in an RV, I'm like, okay, this girl is very she's very open-minded into shooting with a lot of different people, but it's okay. That's
Yeah.
good though. I get
No.
it. I mean,
He
that's
did
probably
he
what
did
people would
have a
live.
house. He did have a house. It just yeah, we shot in his RV.
That sounds like fun though. I mean, just traveling around in like one of those, what are they? Airstreams? Is that what they're called? Airstream RVs. Those like silver ones are kind of cool looking. Um, I could see doing something like that. How much time do you spend every day on content, or do you even work every day doing content for your OnlyFans?
I don't work every day. I try to go live every day, just sitting there kind of talking to fans, checking in with them so they know it's not me and not somebody else running my account or something like that. Because I know that's a big thing for girls lately is that they're not running their accounts. And I definitely like saw a decline in fans from the past year. So I try to get on there at least every single day, check in with people. But as for like filming content and stuff, I probably do that. I don't know, just when I travel like a week or two out of each month, and that's usually like my filming time. And then I go home and do absolutely no filming for a little bit, which is nice. Take a break. But
Well,
I at least get on OnlyFans every single day to answer messages and try to go live. Yeah.
where are you going to next? Not that I'm going to stalk you. Don't worry. I promise.
Well, I can't travel until X3, so that will be my next trip in LA to go to X3, the XMA Awards, and then AVN the week after. So that will be my next time traveling, like August, or not August, January 18th, I think. Yeah, so it's a nice little 2 month break. I usually don't do that, but flying is way too hard without sitting normal.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be painful. Plus, you came back from Miami. How long were you in an aftercare facility in Miami post surgery?
I actually didn't even do an aftercare facility. I just stayed at an Airbnb with my boyfriend. I didn't think it was going to be so rough. I got a BBL 3 years ago, and it was not as rough as this one. This one was definitely just a lot. So I probably should have stayed in an aftercare facility, but I didn't think I'd be so bad. So I was just in an Airbnb and I ended up staying there for 5 days only. They said I could fly home after 5 days, and I got called for jury duty. So I had to hurry home because I thought I was going to be called for jury duty. I got doctor's notes to excuse me and everything, but they wouldn't accept it until the night before when I already had my flight set. I had just enough painkillers to get me through that flight. So I didn't want to like extend my stay longer and run out of painkillers because I needed those for the flight. So I just went home. It was the most painful 7 hours of my life because there's no direct flights that day either. Like it's really hard to get direct flights to the Midwest sometimes, and it was a long day, but I made it. I still had drainage tubes in me, so that really sucked. I had like two really big drainage tubes.
How do you go through security with drainage tubes? I don't understand. Those are
I am
so
TSA
creepy.
pre-check, so they just sent me through the metal detector, and I mean, like I had them underneath my pants. I had like really loose sweatpants on, so it looked like I just had something underneath there. But I was like, if I do have to go through the other one, because sometimes they randomly select you or whatever, I was just gonna be like, they're drainage tubes. Like you got to let people travel. I mean, some people I'm sure they travel with like stomas or something. Like that's kind of what I was thinking of because most people don't have drainage tubes for very long. But I was like, I know people with stomas and stuff. They got to travel, so yeah.
Oh my God. I'm just thinking if the drainage tubes. Okay, so because I might go back bigger on my implants. I had a
Yeah,
reduction. I was a
I want to go
36
bigger
double D
too.
before. Now I'm a
Oh damn.
36D. So I'm going to go
Yeah.
back to 36D. But someone said you might have like tubes, like drains. I don't even understand. Like, do you feel it? And what do you do? Do you have to change it? It sounds so foreign to me.
No, they are. Mine was under my skin like this far, so I didn't realize there was that much tube inside me. There's one on my fupa and one on my back, and I couldn't realize why I couldn't lift my legs. Like I couldn't even put my socks on. My boyfriend was having to put my socks on. I didn't realize because it goes like all the way across your fupa. And because I was so swollen, so I kept calling it a fupa. I usually don't have a fat pussy, but it was just so swollen. And it has like two little bulbs, and so it just drains into the bulbs. You have to keep emptying them every 4 hours because there's so much blood that comes out. And then they said I could remove them myself or go to urgent care. I called a couple urgent cares, and they're like, "We don't do that." So I was like, "Okay, let's go." So I just took little scissors, cut out the stitches, and I had to pull it, and it was really tough to pull, to be honest. And I didn't realize how far they were inside me. So the first one I'm pulling, and I'm like, "Oh my god, when's it gonna end?" The second one, I knew how far it was in me, but it was like I had to pull really hard to get them out. It was intense, and then you just keep draining a little more for a couple days.
Well, I
Yeah,
wonder how long you'd have to stay for them to have pulled those out. Like a week, 2 weeks?
they said I could take them out at 7 days. So yeah, so I would have had to stay at least I guess 8 days to get my appointment on the seventh day to have them pull them out. Which I'm kind of glad I just did them myself. Now that I knew how big they were, I feel more comfortable with that rather than have somebody else do them.
I'm such a chicken. I just would have said, "Here, you do it. Put me to sleep just to do that." Not that, I mean, that's
Right?
really dramatic, probably. Hey, I've asked them to put me to sleep just to get my blood drawn, but I think it would be very, it wouldn't be constructive to do that because by the time I'm out, the blood's already drawn. This is for like five
Right.
tubes of blood. But yet, I like volunteer to get those little IV infusions with vitamins. You should see the drama, the little outbursts that happen for like 10 minutes before they stick me with the vitamin infusion.
Oh, really?
I
Yeah, I
know
hate
maybe I'm not a
drugs
good
like
candidate,
that.
but I go back because I think they're really good. So
Yeah.
I know that you had a few nominations earlier this year.
Hmm.
So we had, what was it? Hottest Ink Star, Alt Model of the
Yes.
Year, and
Yes.
Stankiest Smelliest Feet Contest on Urban X
Yeah.
Awards, which was cool. How do they
Yes.
determine that? Who has a
They actually
stanky?
had us all go on stage and they had two people blindfolded and they sniffed our feet. And I didn't know that it was an actual contest because they had people also voting online. And so I sprayed biofreeze on my feet to wear my heels that night. And so my feet were really minty and it was so funny because like one girl, the girl that won, she wore socks for like 5 days straight and then brought in those socks to wear. It was like, so hers were actually stinky. When I put my feet in front of the blindfolded people, they were like, "Oh wow, your feet actually smell good." I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't realize it was a real contest." And I had already won a trophy that night, so I wasn't too concerned on winning.
Are you nominated for anything for AVN?
They haven't come out with the fan nominations yet, but I am one of the videos I'm in is nominated. So, yes, I don't know if I get a trophy or just the director gets a
Hmm.
trophy if that video wins. I don't know. I need to figure that out.
It depends what category it's in. If it's like funniest video of the year, um, they would get it.
Mhm.
If it's like funniest performer, best whatever XYZ scene of the year, then you would get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they would get it then, which I wasn't the biggest on that director, so
Oh
I
boy.
actually considered that my worst scene ever filmed, so I thought it was super funny when I saw that on the list. But just because I was not liking it, I wasn't too big on the bell top. Okay, it's for best big butt movie. So, yeah, he would get it.
Best big butt movie. Hmm. Interesting. I don't know. It feels as though they've come out with like 300 more categories versus back then. Like back then you didn't have a huge line to get into the awards show because there were people going, but there were stars. Then you had other performers, but it was a conglomerate of us. Like we kind of knew each other. We weren't necessarily friendly to one another. That's another story. But we got along to whatever degree you had to. What else do you like to do besides camping on your days off?
Just traveling a lot. I like to go to tropical places. I went to Costa Rica last year, Bahamas, Honduras. Just I love traveling.
And tanning,
Yeah. Yes.
of course. I got to get to the tanning
Absolutely. Yeah.
salon this week. It's like I feel so pale already, and it's
Yeah.
December. Oh, that's a very funny story. So last year I was getting sugared, and instead of wax. So this is so inappropriate. I don't know. I don't know how to take the comment that the sugaring technician said to me. Oh, you look good for December. I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about? I realized I was tanning. So I think that's what she meant, is that I was nice and tan for December. Because
Yeah.
normally someone like, yeah, someone down by your privates, what the fuck do you mean by I look good for December? I mean, that makes no
Right.
sense. But yeah, the tanning thing. Uh,
Yeah, actually, today I decided I'm going to start tanning again. I'm just going to lay on my stomach in there because I'm so white. So I get what you mean.
I'm serious. It's a challenge to stay like nice and bronze and everything like that. We try to.
Yeah.
Um, do you like Spanish food or do you like foods from those countries like Honduras or
Honestly,
Costa Rica?
no. I'm so picky on my foods and I don't like spicy food at all, which is hard traveling, but I just travel with like oatmeal. I eat like a 5-year-old. So like whatever a 5-year-old would eat, like chicken nuggets and oatmeal and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much my palate, which is so bad.
Oh wait, since you're in the Midwest, okay, which one's your favorite? Shoney's, Cracker Barrel, or Bob Evans, or the
Cracker
Skillet,
Barrel.
Baker Square
I
Skillet?
love Cracker Barrel.
I love Cracker Barrel. I love the store in Cracker Barrel. It's the best.
Yes.
That's awesome. I like Baker Square Skillet as well, but that's an Ohio thing. Interesting. So it seems like you have a lot on your plate coming up. So if people want to find you and go on your OnlyFans, where do they go online?
My OnlyFans is Stephanie the Stripper. And you can also just go to my website, stephaniethestripper.com, and it has links to all my social media, my OnlyFans, loyal fans, many vids, all everything. Just stephaniethestripper.com, and you can find everything you need. It
Have
has like all my upcoming events on there too. Like I have a show coming up in New York City in March and different things like that.
a show like, are you featuring at Sapphires or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, featuring at Sapphire. Yeah, I'm pretty
Which one?
excited. It'll be my third one. 39? Sapphire 39?
That's on the, yeah, I know where it is. Okay, that used
Yeah.
to be,
I've
I'll
already
tell you.
done Times Square and
Yep.
60, so I guess this is like the third one to do.
Well, the 60s, that's near where I live in New York, but
Oh,
that one
really?
on 39th Street, I'll tell you what that used to be. Okay, that used to be a two-story strip club, okay?
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, it was really cool. It was fully nude downstairs, and upstairs it was topless.
Mm-hmm.
I worked there like once in the 90s, and my friend's coworker came in and I went dashing off the stage. I like hightailed out of there into the dressing room. Yeah, that was my story of that one. But it's a nice place. You'll do really well, I'm sure. And
Yep.
I think it's really cool that you have a very like you have a website that's a very unusual thing nowadays. Everyone just goes
Yeah.
to Wiki or whatever. Anything special on your OnlyFans that we should look out for, except for the live streams? Because everyone's, some people do Shakespeare readings in lingerie, Harry Potter
Yeah.
reenactments. What do you do that's different on there?
I don't have anything too special like that. Just I do a lot of like partying and stuff. So like if I'm partying with my friends, I get them all to sign consent forms and I post that. And so I have like a lot of, kind of like behind the scenes type videos on there as well as my sex videos. And I don't know, just a lot of stuff like that. I always do a lot of Christmas content. So this month is going to be just so much Christmas stuff out.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I like Christmas. I like everything about Christmas. By any
Yes.
chance, you dress up as a naughty elf or Mrs. Claus?
I have, yeah. I probably will again. I did like a Grinch Stole Christmas one time too, where I was Cindy Lou Who. Yeah.
That's got to be. I like. Okay, so the Grinch. I love the Grinch, but that's got to be serious, like FX makeup when they did the movie. But I love how different their faces are and how like exaggerated their noses were.
Yeah.
It was a really fun
Yeah.
story to watch. And if anyone wants to if people want to go to your socials and they're too lazy to go to your website, where would they go online for Twitter and Instagram?
Twitter is Love Stephanie22 and Instagram is stephanielove.official. My Instagram, you have, well, actually both of them because I'm shadow banned. You got to type in the whole thing, press enter, and then look because all the fake accounts come up before the real account.
That's like so annoying when they do that, but yet you're allowed to report an imposter account. Then you're reporting an imposter account of yourself, but they don't do anything, and it's still up there.
Yeah.
That's
And I've
ridiculous.
been taken down twice this year for being an imposter on my Instagram. And I'm like, I keep showing you guys my license. So how am I an imposter? They say I'm pretending to be a celebrity. And I'm like, what are you talking about? As there's so many fake accounts out there of me.
Well, there was a girl whose real name was Cindy Crawford. She was a porn star, and I think she was sued by Cindy Crawford.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Cindy, the model, but Cindy Crawford lost the case because this girl's real name was Cindy Crawford, which is just
Oh my
very funny to
God.
me. Yeah, I was
That's
taken down
crazy.
once on Instagram. It took me like a week to get my account back because they said it was an
Yeah.
imposter. I'm like, maybe you should give me a blue fucking check mark by now. But oh well,
Right? Yeah.
it's crazy. Well, thanks so much for taking the time out, and I look
Yes,
forward to
thank you.
seeing what's in store for you next year. And
Yes,
sit
thank
tight.
you.